Hello, this is Mark from Altcoin Buzz, and today we're going to look at Bitcoin as we wrap up the weekend and see what might be in store for us into next week. And we'll also dive into a couple coins that we found on the TradingView screener that might be some hidden gems over the next 7 days. So let's start taking a look at the charts. Here we are in the Bitcoin USD 6-hour chart. I wanted to extend out some of the candles real quick for you. We're on the Heikin candles. And so before we get into this, I did want to say, don't even bother leaving your comments below about how the market's manipulated. TA doesn't work. This market doesn't respond to TA. This is the trading channel that we were talking about getting into last week. It ended up happening. It happened faster than I thought it would, but it did end up happening. You can be wrecked in this market if you want to be. I think most people that don't believe in TA and that want to spout out that it doesn't work is because they don't understand it. They don't know how to do it. And so it's easier just to say that the market's way too manipulated for TA to work. And so to that I say, so are the traditional markets, my friends. TA works in the traditional markets. It works in crypto too. Martin and I will teach you how to do it soon. We'll have a members only section where you guys can learn step by step how to get the charts in front of you and how to look at them through a number of different tools and make your own assessments on how you want to strategize based upon whether the market potentially is going to go up, down, or sideways. And yes, that is TA. There is no crystal ball here. It's a matter of setting a strategy against what you're seeing so that you know what you want to do if the market goes down, if it goes up, where those places are going to be, and how you're going to react. So let's just take a look at Bitcoin right now and see what those potentials might be in the upcoming week. What we had happen was that little flash crash. Obviously, everybody was around to see that, about 5%, wiping out all of the positive momentum that we had basically over a month. And now it looks like we've set up a little bit of a bear flag here. This is on the 6-hour chart. We're getting a nice candle, but let's see what the volume looks like. A little bit of a rise on volume, but it doesn't take much to get this kind of movement when you don't have volume in the market. So although this candle will be very nice potentially here in the next 6 hours, it could close up in this area right back here and engulf some of this action. It's still going to be something that we're going to take a look at because this could merely be dipping into some liquidity back here in this previous swing low. And we really have to see how that next candle sets up because right now this still looks like very much like a bear flag. Let's take a look at a couple other things. One is if this does break down, we're going to be looking at a target based upon this flag pull. And that's how you do your measured move. Take that down. Let's just say it breaks out from this high back in here, which looks like it's going to be our resistance area. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And that would put us roughly at about $6,000 once again. So we'll take that off and let's take a look at our daily chart. And here we are in our 1-day chart, our daily chart. And if we back this up just a little bit, you can see that's where the majority of the price action has been. This area in the orange, which is at risk of being broken into, if we hit that flagpole that we talked about in the 6,000 and we come down to the $6,000 range, that's the top of this box. There is not a lot of support up until the $5,700 range. And if we break through that $5,700 or $5,600, then there is absolutely nothing in here to hold us up until we get down to 45. That would be a very quick fall, a very quick drop. I don't think that we end up getting there. I think that this looks like very much like an accumulation area for us, which means that theoretically we hold up the $6,000 range and test back in these prior swing lows potentially at 5,800, but then swing back out and start trying to retest some of these areas that we were sitting at before as support at $6,700. Now, the $6,400 was our resistance line that we're looking at based upon the volume by price range, but it looks like on that 6-hour candle that we're going to test that potentially and see if we can't break through. Most likely, based upon some of the other indicators that we're going to look at, that will act as resistance for us still. And that bear flag then could play out after hitting this resistance, potentially like this, if that candle continues to carry through onto the daily chart. But if it comes up and hits resistance, then potentially we will look at that $6,000 range again, based upon the target that we were looking at from this flagpole. So that would be the measured move. If we look at the Ichimoku cloud, I've changed the moving averages because we've been in such a sideways movement lately that I typically would double up the Ichimoku cloud. I've now converted, you've got the 9 and the 21 as your moving averages using the standard setting. So you can see all of that is lining up as resistance right in here. If you carried out the cloud further, you can see that that also acts as resistance. You've got some candles that reacted against it back in here. So that is going to be a very strong resistance area area for us right now. The Ichimoku cloud does not give us any encouragement that we're going to be able to see a break above this resistance line. It does look like we have some volume coming into the market, so that's a positive thing. If we can break through this, our next resistance area is going to be up in here at about $6,600. So a move to the upside and a breakthrough of the 6450 puts resistance at 6650. A break down through the support line of 6325 brings us down to a potential of $6,000. Back in here, 61, 6,000, somewhere in there. I wouldn't be surprised if we traded in this zone sideways for a while before we make a decision on whether we're going to break out of here or break down from here. You can see a lot of our volume has happened in that range. But until we break out of that 65, I'm going to be watching this area very closely, the 6,300, to see if we can maintain support there. If we did a real quick trend-based Fibonacci, we'd be looking to find that support at the 382 that you can see we're just above right now. If we broke down, then the next logical area is also that $6,100 at the 0.5. A breakdown from there takes us even lower, down to $6,000. And if for some reason Bitcoin wanted to hit that golden area, based again upon the trend Fibonacci at the 786, we're sub 6,000 down to 58, which coincides back here with our swing low. Not uncommon if we had a breakdown of the support to try and find the next swing low. So be looking for those zones that we were talking about. Those are critical areas to be watching for, because if we break through that $6,100, it's not too far-fetched and it won't take too long to happen to get down to that prior swing low. Okay, we're going to look into a couple coins real quick that are popping up on the screener on TradingView right now. 0x, which we know got listed on Coinbase, and we're zooming out on the 12-hour chart here. 0x found its bottom in the middle of September and has been on a nice steady climb since then. This could be a lot of the Coinbase factored into the price already, but if we just zoom in on the price action just a little bit, it's testing out the resistance right now around 77 cents, trying to find support at 74 cents, and it looks like it's setting up a nice little bull flag right here. Also trying to find the support at the 786 on the Fibonacci, that resistance at the 1-to-1 ratio from its low down here. If it could test that at least as support, that's at 81.5 cents, somewhere in there. And if this bull flag pans out on a measured move, that would put us right about at that resistance area of 88 cents. So there's 0x, looking pretty encouraging right now. And one more for you, Polymath. This is the coin that is running the platform for security tokens, much like the Ethereum of security tokens. And right now, it's got a nice trajectory up since the middle of September. It's bucking the trend, finding resistance at the 22-cent area, finding support at 18.5 cents. And let's just look at the Fibonacci to see what some of the targets might be. Zooming in, that support coming in right in at the 0.5 on the Fibonacci, and the resistance right now sitting at the 0.618. It looks like it's going to try and break through there and go back up to that 786. It looks like it was getting ready to break through that 786 and try and find support there, except that we had the whole market kind of crash out underneath us over the last few days. But finding a nice trend, this could be a nice coin. Trying to hit that 786 at the 21.5 cents, and if it makes a 1-to-1, then it gets up to 23.5 cents. Which from its current price point would be a very nice 20% gain. And that'll wrap it up for tonight. A couple coins for you on top of Bitcoin. Hopefully this helps out for you. Don't forget to join us on Altcoin Buzz.io and check out that contest that we have going on, giving away some great prizes. There should be a link for you down in the description below so that you can enter in. Until next time, may all your trades be good ones.